Okay, so in this problem we are being asked to write a program that calculates the volume of a 3D shape that's been chosen by the user. So we're going to give the user a choice between calculating that volume for a rectangular prism, a cylinder, or a sphere. And we'll just need to look up the formulas for those if we don't remember them off of the internet. So we'll go into my IDE and let's get this to work. So this is like kind of a menu program, so I got to display the menu first. So let's say we're printing some type of title, so volume calculator, and let's say we want to just say enter 1 for the rectangular prism, 2 for the cylinder, and 3 for the sphere. So we need a variable for the choice and some type of prompt saying them to make a choice. So let's just call it choice, and that's going to be an integer. So make your choice. Okay, so that's set up to let the user pick 1, 2, or 3, and then we're just going to create kind of a set of if-elif statements to do what we want it to do if based on whatever the user picks. So if, so say make the calculations for shape. So if the choice, is 1, so here we are doing the rectangular prism. So the volume of a rectangular prism is length times width times height. So I need all 3 of those values entered from the keyboard. So we got to ask the user for those. So enter the length, width, and height. Oops. Okay. And then the volume calculation is just length times width times height. Okay. I could print that out now, but I'm not going to. I'm going to wait till the end of the program to do it. So I'm just going to let my if statements do the calculation and then do one print statement at the end instead of having to do a print statement in every if section. Okay. So if the choice wasn't 1, then let's check if the choice was 2. And that's going to be the cylinder. So to get the volume of a cylinder, it's the area of the base times the height. And the area of the base of a cylinder is a circle. So I would need the radius to calculate that. So let's say that, okay, so R. I'm just using integers because it's just easier. So enter the radius of the base, and my height is going to be just h, so enter the height, and then I can calculate the volume. So the volume is area of the base times the height. So the area of the base is pi times r squared, okay, times the height. Okay, don't really need the brackets because it's all multiplication, but kind of makes it easier to read in this sense, so you kind of understand what's going on. Okay, and the last part is the sphere. Okay, and the volume of a sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed. So we only need the radius here. So maybe I'll just copy this to avoid some typing. Enter the radius of the sphere. And my volume I just said was what? So 4/3, volume equals 4/3 times pi times r cubed. All right. And then finally, whenever we're doing a menu, usually it's kind of proper format that you would have what would happen if I didn't pick 1, 2, or 3. So I can have some final else here that's something like you didn't make a valid choice. Now, when we learn loops in the next lesson, it would make sense to have a loop that just continues asking. Like if they don't make a proper choice, you would want to have the program ask again, not just totally stop, which will happen in this program. Okay, so I've done my choice menu and I've done my calculations for volume. I just need to print out the volume at the end. Okay. So I don't know, maybe we'll round that volume to 3 decimal spots and hope that this works. Nope, right away, what did I do? There we go. Okay. I'm going to keep running the program until I get no errors. There we go. Okay, so I got my volume calculator. So let's check my rectangular prism. So make your choice. So enter your length. Oh, I should probably make it look better. So if you add your length, so 2, 3, and 4, it's printing out 24. That makes sense. Okay, it'll do the calculation right. We know that as long as we got the formulas right. But we're just testing to make sure that I don't have any errors here. Oops. So if the radius of the base was 2 and the height was 1, we'd get 12.56. And we could check that on our calculator, and we'll just check the other 3, choice 3, which would just ask us for the radius. That seems to be working, and then let's finally check and see if I entered like an invalid choice here. All right, so you didn't make a valid choice. All right. Oh, this is interesting. The way I'm running my program here, it's not clearing the variable. So let's run it a different way. Right. All right, why did it do that? Well, that actually makes a lot of sense because the variable volume is only calculated in one of these 3 if statements. So if it has no volume, because it didn't do one of these 3 if statements, then it doesn't know what that variable is and it can't print it out. So how would we fix that? Well, either I put this in all of those statements here, okay, so it's only printing from the if statement, or I have to make volume be a value, and that probably doesn't make a lot of sense. The only value that might make sense is putting it as 0. So if I did something like this, volume equals 0, and ran the program and I made an invalid choice, then it will say volume equals 0. That's probably not the greatest solution. Maybe it is better that it actually goes inside my print statements here. Right, so I can avoid doing that and having that look a little bit odd.